Hey guys, my name is Millie and I'm working as a UX designer at Haiku here in Gothenburg. I've been honored to be part of Pro Agile's Christmas calendar for the second year in a row, which is so much fun. I'm really grateful for that. So this year I want to talk about Lean UX again, mostly because I believe it's a really important topic in our field. It is something that we work a lot with together with our clients here at Haiku, and also something that me and my colleague Amanda gives lectures on. So more specifically, I want to talk about how we can simplify our deliveries to our end users in order to reach better results in a long-term kind of sense. So doing that by focusing on outcomes of the projects rather than the outputs. Because we live in an extremely fragmented information society today, which has led to a decreased attention span among us humans. So in our everyday life, everything and everyone keeps screaming for our attention. So how are we then supposed to design and develop products and services that actually breaks through that noise and grabs people's attention for real? We want to argue that it's actually quite simple. So it all comes down to two different words: why and how. And so in any project that you will ever encounter, you will have to at some point ask yourselves and answer these two questions. First one being, why are we doing this and how can it be done? And so the why question in this case represents the outcome of the project. So that would be what is the actual problem that you're trying to solve, and how can we design so we get a great outcome at the end of the process. And the how represents the outputs. So that would be for example, all the different features or functionality that we can implement in our product or service in order to achieve that goal or solve that actual problem. In a lot of cases, though, people are so eager to start with the how that they totally forget about the why question. And what happens then is what always happens when we put a bunch of creative people together in a meeting room. We get a never-ending backlog with 1,000 different features we could implement, but we have no clear agenda on how to actually work with them. And as you might know from experience, these meetings tend to be really opinion-based rather than actually fact-based, from facts about your users, like that invaluable data. And so somewhere along the project's course, we remember to actually apply the why. And so we try to define the problem somewhere along the way, and we also try to justify that price tag, of that long backlog list with all the different features. And the problem here is that no one actually stopped and asked what the user of your product or service actually wants and needs. And at this point, you might realize that you're building something that nobody actually wanted in the first place and nobody actually asked for. And if that's the case, who cares if you do it on time and you meet the budget? So always put your users first. Keep them in the middle of your project at all times. Because the thing is that the users are the actual experts. If we don't listen to them, nobody's going to use the product in the end. And they will answer your why questions. And then the project team can work together to define the how to work in order to solve the why question in the first place. And so once you think you have an answer to those two questions, the why and the how, you should design it, you should build it, and then you should put it in the hands of your actual users. So try one or two hypotheses, listen to your users' feedback, learn from the feedback, and then tweak your product or service upon that feedback. Because that is the only way to know if you are heading in the right direction. So by continuously listening to your users, you will keep up to date with your product and make sure you solve their actual problems. So you should always keep them close in your ongoing iteration loops. So not just in the beginning or early on in the project, but at all times. So always keep your users close. So if you simplify the way you deliver your product or service, you will reach better results and you will reach them faster. Because the thing is, if you solve a real problem with your product or service, the users will come. I assure you that, and you will make money out of your product or service. I mean, look at any major company today, like Airbnb, Uber, Facebook, Google. We have Swish in Sweden, which is massively used. They solved real problems for their users, and I don't think anyone would question that they're making a lot of money on their products and services. Because working with Lean UX is proven to be so much more cost efficient. It's so much more time efficient, but most important of all, it is so much more fun. If you have one of those problems that you can't quite solve, don't hesitate to contact me and my colleague Amanda at solverealproblems@hiq.se, and we will help you to get on the right track with your project. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I'll see you around soon somewhere. Have a great day, and Merry Christmas, everyone.